Welcome, house number three. We live, and we're not gonna talk about Black Mirror right away. We're gonna talk about this election.
Oh man, I muted. You see how quick I got off mute, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about this election. I don't understand Donald J. Trump and his band of campaign people. Like, I don't
Cause just
understand them.
cause hold it down right now.
All right,
I'm gonna mute up so I can share the live.
all right.
All right.
Anybody got any questions that come on that want to talk about this election? We need to talk about it because he's complaining that everybody's rigging the election and they're not. So, uh, what chips? I don't have no chips. Go. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. But yeah, we need to talk about this election. And I don't care if he sees this. I don't care if he don't see it. I don't care if he tries to silence people. But there's no evidence of anybody rigging the election. And he's trying worse than all my cousins, nephews, nieces, anybody in this in my family. He's crying worse than all these kids. We got some crybabies in my family. And they don't cry this much. So I'm just waiting for Christina to jump on. I'm waiting for Laura to jump on when she gets a chance. My God, people's lounge. I know she's muted, but you know, this is something serious, and it's real crazy. Denise, add Christina in.
Hey love. Okay, Christina's here. Let me add her on. There we go. So I shared your live, guys. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Where's Lauren Boo Boo at?
Hey, beautiful. How are you, my love?
Hey cousin, I'm good. It's just
Okay.
Laura's
crazy.
working, and Boo Boo had to go get his father. Boo Boo said he'll be back in like 20 minutes, and Laura said
Okay,
she's gonna
that's
jump
cool.
on whenever she can. So I just started it because you guys have to start at 7. So I just started it so you and Joey could take over, and then when Boo Boo comes in, he'll jump on or whatever.
All right, copy,
All
copy.
right, so I'm
All
gonna
right,
go on
thank
mute
you.
and go in the chat, okay?
All right.
All right.
All right. Mute.
So
Well, what we're talking about right now is this election because everybody else is not in here for the Black Mirror.
oh no, the election is all we're talking about today. Like we can't talk
Do
about
you?
Black Mirror when we
Did we,
don't, for one, have
a
um
president?
a
A
president.
president?
So with that being said, I do think that everybody's,
I
good
have a
on
question for
the.
the world, like in the live world. Like this guy is really telling people that Democrats rigged the election when he's losing his cases. Then he was just on the news because I was listening, saying that you know he he won some cases. He won this. He won. No, you lost your cases. They dismissed it, and you're mad.
Yeah.
You're crying like a baby. Like this is ridiculous.
So with that being said, I actually fell asleep to watching our last week's episode,
Okay.
and one of my closing statements was, "Stay tuned next Thursday at 7 o'clock. By then, we'll have a president, and that'll be definitely the conversation we have." But here it is, Thursday at 7:10 at night, and we still ain't got one. So
Yep.
I don't know what's going on, honestly, with this elect. Well, I know what's going on, but as far as you know, so they're still tallying and counting votes and the absentee ballots and all of that good stuff. And the only thing that not President Trump, I'm sorry, the only thing that Biden is really missing right now is Nevada. All he needs is Nevada to win this election. He's already at 263, if
Oh
I'm not
no,
mistaken.
they took that call from Arizona away. He's at 253 now.
You said what now?
They took Arizona.
Let me just tell you, yes, they took
Really?
Arizona because he never won Arizona. He was just close, and Fox 5 is actually the news channel that started saying he won Arizona, but it is not official. He's still racing for Arizona. So Arizona's
So
off.
he's
So right
still,
now it's
wow.
253 Biden, 213 Trump. And there he's closed. The states are closing in on Pennsylvania and Georgia.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina. Did they make a call for North Carolina yet?
Well, North Carolina, he's not neck and neck with the ones that right now. The ones that he's neck and neck in that would take him to the winning. That would take him to the winning is Pennsylvania and Georgia, because Georgia's 16, which will put him at 269, and
269,
Pennsylvania, which is 20, that'll put him at 703. I mean, sorry, 273.
And he's starting to come back in those states. He's starting to come back. Like he's
I
at
apologize, my misinformation. I was not up on that. I thought I did whatever research I could before I got on, but I had no idea about that. So
the way it
at
looking like
first,
he got
Biden
Nevada in the bag.
yeah,
like he got Nevada in the bag. But it looked like the way they're talking that he's going to overtake Georgia. He's only down by 8,000 votes. That he might overtake Georgia.
With that being said, are they counting mail-in ballots as well on top of that?
Yep.
Okay.
The Attorney General and the Supreme Court for Georgia dismissed this case. They dismissed this case.
So actually, with that, cause I want to tell you too, right now all they're doing is counting the mail-in ballots. That's why he's having such a problem with it, because in the beginning, during the day of the voting, what they were counting that day and the next day were mainly the people who voted in the place. After those all were counted, they then started counting the mail-in and the early voting. That's why he's having such a problem, because remember, he was telling all his people, don't vote by mail. And Biden was telling everybody, vote by mail, early voting, do this, do that. So that's why he's having a big issue right now, because these votes that they're tallying up right now are the mail-in voting.
Oh hell, Denise, you might as well stay here until Laura or somebody get here.
Yeah, you know this. I've been on this. I'm still watching it right now as we're going. I just finished watching him give his speech on how they won and Biden is cheating.
Trump. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just telling me about.
He addressed the news. He addressed the news. He just told the whole world that Biden is cheating.
Because I know Google, when I checked Google again, Google showed me that Biden was still up by 260 something.
Right.
But wow, I had no idea. That's still like, that hit me off guard. I'm not even gonna lie, that one hit me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, so he was up Had he won Arizona, he would be up. But right,
Yeah,
it was such a close call that
call.
his own TV channel, Fox 5 is the only channel that
Mm-hmm.
gave Biden
Arizona.
Arizona without him taking it.
Without him taking it. Oh.
Right, right.
How you
Yeah,
feeling
this,
about this? How you feeling about this so far, Denise? Like, where, in your heart, where do you think this can go? Honestly.
I honestly believe that Biden is gonna take it. I believe he got it. Like right now, we're just waiting for the numbers. I feel a lot of people sit there and say, oh, like I got, people I know who feel that Biden is a pedophile. Well, so is Trump. If that's the case, because they both, Trump was on an island with little girls too, and he wasn't counting their
Yeah.
tutu, you know,
Right.
and so
We're not gonna
my
talk about that Epstein
yeah, hint,
situation.
hint, right. So my whole thing is, for the past 4 years, I saw what Trump did. So I would never vote for him because I seen what he
Mm.
did. I seen 8 years of what Biden was part of. So I
Hold on
definitely
now, Denise. Hold on, Denise,
what's up.
because can you honestly throw out things Biden has done without Obama?
Um,
Let's ask those
and I
questions
no,
first, because I
no,
don't want I never want, like, because I know I do hear that too, like, people saying things like, oh well, Biden has done this and this, and
no. I can't do
meanwhile
that.
it's everything,
I can't do that. But what I
you
yeah, I
can
know
can't.
say is that
Obama did during
although he
those
may not
times.
have done anything, he stood by a man who did. You know what I mean? And that same man, like Obama, like everybody talks stuff. Listen, I'm not a theorist. I am not.
Mhm.
So anybody who says, "Well, I seen a video that showed Michelle Obama is a man," I'm gonna be like, "Listen, gay for
Child.
soldier." I'm gonna be like, "Man, listen, I'm not with all of that."
Yeah.
So I know that Biden was never president.
Mm.
So I'm kind of.
So let me ask you this, Joey. I'm gonna ask you that same question, but first, let me ask you this, Denise.
What's up?
With that being said, do you think Joe Biden can hold shit down for real?
I'm gonna tell you, given his age and that, honestly, it's gonna be a little hard, but I really believe he picked an excellent runner. I really
Mm.
believe that where Joe Biden may be a little weak, his strength couldn't have been put in a better woman aside Michelle Obama.
I still say Stacey Abrams, but hey, don't shoot me.
Listen, if we
But
all thought the same, this world would be boring, right?
I mean, facts. You right. Or even AOC. I'm just saying. We just throwing things out there. I would have loved to have AOC as Miss Vice President as well.
Yeah.
Um, but with that being said, Joey, how you feel about it? Like, where do you think this can go?
Honestly, honestly, if he got a good running mate, he got good people behind him, Joe Biden. But I didn't see myself. I never saw him as the front runner to run against Donald Trump.
Mm.
You know,
I
and
agree.
when
I second that.
and when
Yeah.
Bernie was winning, and then all of a sudden one of the main votes he took over everything. I
Mm.
was like, oh, they just want him to go against Trump. Not to say he's a.
Okay.
I don't believe he's. I believe he's an okay candidate. He's not a. I'm jumping out. This is who the back type person. No, I think he's going to have his help. He was under Obama. Obama's going to help him. Don't be surprised if Michelle Obama is part of his administration. Don't be
Okay.
surprised.
Honestly, I don't see it happening. I think Obama and Michelle are done. They've given their 8 years to this country, and they want nothing to do with this part. I do
But
feel
you want to
that.
know?
They did their bid. They
Yeah,
were
I was gonna
giving,
say I don't
they were
think
they maxed out.
That's it.
Did their
They said
time.
that's it.
They don't
I'm
got no
going.
parole, no
Michelle said
probation.
that's
They
it.
ran for the border.
Yup. Michelle said that is it for her.
Oh,
And the same question goes for you, Joey. Or I think you might have already answered it. Do you think Biden, like, can you see Biden really like running shit? And you
I
already
believe.
answered that.
I believe
I think
What's her name? Harris is going to be running shit.
Kamala.
Kamala Harris is going to be running shit.
People be like, that. It ain't that hard to say Kamala.
Because people are not talking about her as much as they talk about Trump and Pence and Biden, but they don't talk really much about her. And I think she's going to be the one holding it down. I really
You
do.
know, Denise and Joey, I've actually heard that same thing, like on Facebook, like just scrolling through Facebook, seeing what, my high school friends had to say and seeing what other friends had to say about it. They do
Yeah.
feel that it's not really for Joe Biden that they're voting for, but mainly Kamala Harris. I don't know why, but I feel like people are predicting Joe Biden's death and just they're gonna let Kamala step in and just run shit. But I do see like a lot of people saying that too.
Well,
To go back to both of y'all's points.
I'm gonna tell you, I really believe that the reason why Trump is fighting so hard is because looking at it, I like to step out of the box to look at things. I don't look at things through one zone. So when I step out the box and I look at it, I'm like, okay, so Joe Biden he's elderly. Like, let's call it what it is. It's not a secret. If he should happen to pass, what would be their biggest fear? And their biggest fear was Barack Obama, because he was a black man. A woman, running this country.
A woman of color at that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So the woman of
Child.
color just added to Trump's heart attack. Like,
Yeah.
he gonna try to sue her if he dies, cause it's gonna be her. And so when you look at it, you're like, we are literally entering a whole new world. And that's why he's acting up the way he's acting up, because first of all, you made fun of this gentleman for I don't know how long, Sleepy Joe Biden. He can't get up, wah, ha 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 ha, and then a whole bunch of nonsense, and in between bullshit. But then he goes and he picks a woman of what is her race? And I can't
She's
remember ever.
black. She's
Uh-huh.
actually very mixed, like us.
Uh-huh.
She's very mixed.
And she's from the islands, right?
She's from India. So
Yes.
she's
You
half
see?
Indian, half Chinese. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she's also black. I think her father was black or something like that.
That
And her
is
mother was
every
Indian. I
that
don't
is
know.
every racist's worst nightmare.
Yeah, and hell have no fury like a woman scorned. And I feel
Oh,
like Kamala Harris has been scorned. Well, no, because I ain't gonna lie, I've seen a lot of her debates. I've watched a lot of Kamala debates, of her debating in the House of Congress.
mm,
And she's really on her shit. Like, she knows her stuff, she knows her information, she knows how to back it up, and does it in a way that intimidates you, but you can't say nothing about it. Like, I don't know how she does it, but it's like when she wants you to know what it is she's saying, she will let you know what she's saying. And if you feel a way about it, you just feel a way about it. But now, Kamala, I think, I don't know. I'm still iffy with that. Personally speaking,
with who?
Kamala.
But as president?
Yeah, yeah.
You watch so many shows, right? You're like, damn, is this really what she could be like?
But I actually have a confession to make.
What's that?
I actually did not vote. I did not go vote not one time for this election. And I know some of you may be like, well, bitch, what are you even up here talking about it for? Because what we gonna do is back it up. Because my question and what I'm gonna start asking y'all is, why did y'all vote? Because
Why did I vote?
when you're looking at the facts, all right, I think I see one perfect president in both of them. And what I mean by that is I think they both have things that I appreciate. I'm not gonna say I like, but I appreciate about them. Trump with his hard head and his stubbornness, you know, those things can often sometimes be positives. And Joe Biden's free will and his yearn to want to make the country a better place. At the end of the day, they do have cons. You know, neither president is good. And I'm sorry, but I'm not one of those people who can just easily say, well, you know, it's either this or this.
So can I ask you a question, Chris?
Joe Biden, he's nothing. He's doing absolutely nothing. From the beginning, when we found out that Joe Biden was going to be the presidential running, he's going to be in the presidential running for 2020. People was paying attention. You know, people were paying attention. And one of the things that people were really saying was, we need a black vice president. He gave it to us. Joe Biden then decides to go on Charlamagne the God's podcast, The Breakfast Club, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. He goes up there and, you know, he's all confident and he's cocky, and he then goes to say, well, you're not black if you don't vote for me. Cocky strike number one. All right. The debate. Not President Trump, but Joe Biden. He debated as if he was too comfortable. For me, that is a problem, because you're not putting in a fight. You're not putting in the fight that me personally, I need you to see. You know, like, I did not see no fight in Joe Biden. And I'm just gonna say this, he's solely, listen.
This is a debate that I want to have. Go ahead.
He's solely got all of these popular votes, the black and brown vote. He got all of these votes simply because people are feeling that there is no other choice. There is no other way other than his way. And for me, that is a problem. I can't just give you my vote because you feel entitled to it. I can't just give you my vote because you feel, oh, I gave you guys a black vice president. That's good enough. No, it's not. Oh, we have Donald Trump in office. Y'all have no other choice but to vote for me. No, that's not true either. Me personally, I have not seen anything to credit Joe Biden as my presidential pick for 2020, because I simply I didn't hear anything he has done, even during him being vice president. I didn't hear anything of any bills being passed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I didn't hear anything about bills being passed on his end. When Michelle Obama did more than he did while she was in office, and she is the first lady.
Okay.
So for me, he didn't do enough for me, and that's why I could not make that choice.
So you're okay. So this is my thing. You've seen what Donald Trump has done, so you're okay with that.
No, I didn't say that either, and I'm not going to sit here.
So hold on,
I'm not
right?
Okay,
so this is hold on. So you didn't see Biden do anything for us.
See,
So
hear about it, know
okay,
about it, CNN
so
reporting about it,
anything. Well,
nothing.
okay, you know what? Let's totally say he didn't do anything for us, right?
Okay,
Donald Trump didn't do anything for us either, and he came in office. And
you're right.
right now, he didn't do much for us. He did more for, if you have money, you benefited from Donald Trump right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, see, the way I see it is, like I said, I don't know anything about Joe Biden. I don't know what he can or cannot do. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? He may be a fucked up person, but I already know that Trump is a fucked up person. So this is what I told my kids. I feel you should vote anyway, because if you don't vote, you're giving Trump that vote. That vote goes to Trump.
I will say that is true based off of the state you live in. Because for me, it was easy. I'll say this: it was easy for me to make that decision of not voting because I live in New York City, and because I live in New York City, I know that New York City, at the end of the day, is a democratic state. I didn't need to put my vote in for Biden to win New York. I did not need to put my vote in for even Trump to win New York. If that was the case. Uh no, I'm sorry. That's not what I was trying to say. What I'm saying is Biden didn't need my vote in New York. I feel like that right there, it depends on what state you're in. If you know you're living in those red states that are oftentimes being predicted that it goes right to Republicans, then I do feel that
But you also know that by you
you
not
have to
voting,
make those decisions
you also know
based
that you
off
don't
of what's
only
right.
vote for the president.
I'm
So you
sorry.
know that I say you also know that you don't vote for the president when you do go and vote. You
I
vote for
know
the
the
Senate, you vote
mm-hmm.
for the
Yeah.
Congress, like you vote for all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So do you know that right now, even though we're on the run to getting to having
50
a
seats.
Democratic president, we're still losing in
in the
the
Senate.
House
But it's
in
not in
all
New York.
areas. No,
We
it's
didn't lose New York.
period. It's
We
no. Listen,
three people in
the
New York lost
Congress
their
is
seat
everybody. It
in the House.
doesn't matter. So on every sheet that you vote in is the president, the Congress, and the I don't know them by name, so please don't.
No,
But there's
yeah,
three other seats,
we
there's
know.
three other ballots that you need to vote for that count
Mhm.
for the Congress. So
Mhm.
if let's say and right now the Republicans are holding their seat. You understand?
What do
So
you
even
mean
though we
holding their
get so
seat?
we have okay. So
You mean in the House of Representatives? Like I know some in some cases,
yes,
like
the
some of
Congress
those Republicans that were already in the House are currently
it's still
being reelected.
still
Yeah.
Republican, it's still Republican strong.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is because I live in New York, it was easy for me not to make that decision to go vote because I knew, regardless of what it is that I wanted or needs that I felt were not fulfilled, I knew by the majority New York was going to be blue. And like I said, I'm only saying it
As far
because
as
I
the
live in New York.
presidency,
No, but we won the blue. We have a Democratic representative in the in the House of Representatives for New York as well. So far, based off of what I know,
okay.
involving like the officials, the elected officials in New York, I know we're good in the sense of people wanting blue to be in the House. You see what I'm saying? But I feel as if I was living in a state like Georgia or Alabama or something to that extent, I would have made it my mission to, regardless of how I personally felt, I had to make a decision based on what was right. Um, but because I don't live in those red states, it was easy for me not to vote. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
And to
Well,
Christina,
I didn't vote because I'm a felon, so I can't vote.
to Christina, New York lost 2 representatives for the House of Representatives.
Yes,
2
Oh, we
Republicans.
did. Is
yes.
Yeah.
AOC still in now?
Oh, she won hers by a landslide.
Oh, okay. That's all I'm worried about, then, girl. As long as AOC in there representing New York
But-
and the Boricuas,
but-
I'm good.
But
The
it's not
reason-
the representation, though. The thing, I'm sorry, Joey, not to say something really terrible.
We needed
It's
some
not just the
kind of Boricua
representation. You see what
We did.
the thing is that if you have a Democratic president and
Mhm.
you have a Republican, if the only spot that the Democrats hold is the White House,
Mhm.
understand that everything else that the White House does has to go through Congress, the appellates and this and that. So
Yeah.
let's say right now they want to stop Obamacare. Now I have free medical for me and my kids, right?
Mhm.
So if I lose Obamacare and I get hit with Corona, I'm fucked up, right? Because the steps that were already taken to diminish it, they won't turn it around, because now the majority in the other 2 houses go to the Republican. You see, you need for it being, Anne-Marie, please stop. Being a Democratic president gives you power, but it's not the only thing you need. Because even though you have these ideas, that's why Trump was so eager that he called this woman at nighttime to sit her in the judge's spot. Because now, if he whatever now the in the appellate court, we're below. The Republicans have the majority. So right now, if let's say this thing, he lost fair and square, like Trump lost, but
We
they
know
can
that.
go ahead and they can overdo that. This is why. So your voting doesn't, and this is the same thing I explained to my kids. Your vote isn't just for the president and vice president. So now, where the court appellate, let's say the higher court decided that they need to decide who's going to be the president. Because right now they
I,
hold the majority. Trump is going to
yeah.
go back in there. So what we just lived through 4 years, we got to look forward to another 4 years.
But okay, so with that being said, the House of Congress and all of those other officials and stuff, those they have a lot to do with.
You.
Wait. I was gonna say I'm reading some of the chats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
It's been a
you know
problem
why
for
I'm
some people to vote for whatever.
So Denise is going back and forth on this
Yeah,
thing.
I see that.
But Soldier's my day one. I love
Christina.
Soldier.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The House of Representatives, the Democrats still control.
That's what I meant. I keep saying House of Congress. It's House of Representatives.
They hold a slim margin of holding that house.
Yeah.
So you remember, it's every 2 years. There's going to be a midterm election. Biden wins. It's going to be a midterm election in 2022.
Right.
What happens if Republicans take over?
Yeah.
Then what? Biden, we're going to be fighting.
He's going to have problem like Obama had issues. He's going to have issues just like Obama did when Obama was in office, when the House was mainly ran by Republicans, and anything Obama wanted to do, it was a automatic no, right?
Yeah,
however, I don't think it's not doable, because at the end of the day, Obama came out of office 8 years with those issues and still managed to do what he could to make sure we were good. You know what I mean? Because of Obama, it's because of Obama that Denise has that Obamacare. You feel what I'm saying?
And
like,
what was Trump's first thing he did when he got into office?
He wanted to take out
Obamacare. He wanted to, but he couldn't because of the simple fact. No, he didn't.
He started to.
It's in the works right now. It's in the works right now. This is what I'm telling you. So this is what I'm telling you when you say, like, I told my kids the same thing, because my kids feel the same way. And I'm like, when you sat there and you didn't vote, we lost seats that were valuable to us. So even if there's 15 people that like I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know the person you're referring to that said as long as she still got her spot. If there was 15 people just like her, all
Oh,
Democrats,
AOC.
but there was
You don't know about AOC?
you're
I know
saying
about
petition, so I'm not sure like what's
Miss Cox. What was her? Yo,
Listen,
she's a
if you think Kamala, listen, if you think Kamala could get set
but
fire
even
under some
if
ass,
there was
baby,
15 of
AOC
them,
ain't.
if there was
Mhm.
15 of that person, but there's 17 Republicans, it don't matter because we lost them seats. We lose more.
So where are we at with the seats as far as the House of
I'll tell you right now.
Representatives
I'm
go?
gonna read it right now. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now because see, I've been on this all day. Just give me a second. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I mean,
So,
but my thing is, even if we lose seats in the House, it's not the end of the world. All right, like you guys are, like I
oh
see what you're
shit!
saying.
Look
What
at this.
happened?
Fox Decision Desk stands behind decision to call Arizona for Biden, and
yeah.
that's
Trump is
funny
pissed off.
because that's funny
Trump
You
is
because
pissed off.
said
that's his
Fox
team.
did what? They stood beside their what now? I'm sorry.
They're standing behind their decision to say
Trump won.
that
Biden won
that
Arizona.
Biden won Arizona. Yeah, y'all could talk. Once it comes on, I'm gonna jump in and let y'all know.
All
Last time
right.
I checked for the House of Representatives, I don't know about the House, but I know for the Senate,
Because it's
it was
only
47
100
48.
seats, right? It's only 100 seats.
What in the Senate? Yes, but it was 48 47.
Okay. Because we only need
Well,
50 to like, well,
we need
51
51.
really.
We need 51
Yeah.
to take over. We need 52 and Trump wins. We need 51 and Biden wins.
And we're still waiting. No, because I know Georgia was called. They called their
Sorry,
They
they
have
called their
Joey.
people
wow.
already.
Right now, um, Trump is beating Biden in Georgia by 3,000.
Wait, where do you get
I'm watching Channel 5. Where's she at?
I don't know. I think she just dipped off
It should
out.
come back up. Should come back up. Yeah,
Let me
let
tell you
me mute
something.
this because I'm trying to see.
I can't believe this.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to the voting, it's a whole lot of other things that come with it, and a
Yeah.
lot of a lot of people seem to think, well, I'm not gonna vote for Biden because I don't like him, but I don't like Trump either. And I'm like, but but I love this person and I love that person. And right now, like I said, even though we're gonna win the presidency, we
We're gonna lose.
still yeah,
We're gonna lose the Senate.
we lost
We're
the
gonna lose,
Senate and we lost something else.
we lost seats in the House. I don't know if
Oh,
we.
okay, let me ask. There she goes again. Okay, sorry, cuz.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. I was trying to look and see for myself, but I ended up clicking the wrong button. Um, but yeah, so what are those numbers again?
So
You
right
said
now, the key
uh-huh.
states are Georgia, and Trump is up by 3,486. Nevada, Biden is up by 11,438. North Carolina, Trump is up by 76,000. And Pennsylvania, he's up by 64,000.
How
How
much?
much? I'm sorry.
Pennsylvania, 64,000.
Whew. Child,
Yeah,
So,
but yeah.
child.
Either way, I see him taking Georgia. I don't see him taking Arizona so quick. I see him taking Georgia.
I don't see him taking Pennsylvania or North Carolina, honestly.
No,
Because those numbers are too far out. Um,
I
however,
see him taking Georgia.
it's too close to call with Georgia. And if Georgia wins, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna like, because like this will be my first time ever seeing Georgia go blue. Like From
Listen,
as long
uh,
as I can remember, Georgia has always been a Republican state. Always been
Virginia,
Republican.
Virginia
And
was a Republican
now,
state, and it turned blue.
yeah, but I'm
Virginia was
talking about
all.
Georgia. I'm talking about
So
Georgia. Like one of
for
the big
Soldier,
number, you know, like
asked if you believe your vote counts.
I to a certain extent, I will say to a certain extent, and I mean that
I
with the
believe it
bottom of
counts
my heart.
because I believe it counts because we're the tiebreaker.
Can I,
If,
Marcus? Can you make me a coffee, please?
if
Sorry.
it's 269 and 269, we the tiebreaker. We're the
Well,
tiebreaker.
my opinion, and this is gonna start a whole
Us.
other thing that we definitely are not gonna talk about right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
no,
honest
we
with
can
you.
get into it. This
I
is
don't
not,
feel
listen,
I don't feel any of our opinions matter. I feel that this is. I'm gonna tell you something. We're all puppets in this world. At the end of the day, I honestly believe that no matter who we vote for, we don't benefit from any of it. We are a puppet in their masquerade. That's the way I feel about the whole voting process and everything. I don't feel we're free because if you don't put on your seatbelt, you're getting a ticket. If you don't pay your bill, you ain't got no light. If you don't pay your rent, you're getting kicked out. We're not
yeah.
free. We haven't been free. The only difference is we're not in chains. No, I do not believe my vote counts. I don't believe that at the end of the day, anybody's votes count.
Votes count.
But if
Yeah.
they are going to be valid someday, somehow, I want to make sure that I did what I could to be part of that. That's my
Yeah, I'm just not one of those people to just give my vote up just cause. Like
Let me ask you, Christina,
I need you to do a little bit more for me. I need you to do a
if
You
little
got
bit more for me.
you sub to his channel, go in the chat, say hello to Foot Soldier and give your opinion there, not here. This is not an open stage. Go ahead,
Who,
sorry.
Marcus?
Yeah. Hold
tell
on,
Marcus to come in,
or tell him to join. Cause
tell him to
Marcus
join.
act like he never wants to be a special guest or anything. Tell his ass to join. How about that?
you want me to put the link? Anybody want to join? I'm gonna put the link in the thing. Do y'all want to do that?
Yes, it's an open. Let's have an open discussion about this election.
All right, so I'm gonna put it there. There we go. So we can finally hear what Foot Soldier think about things.
Who is Foot Soldier?
Foot Soldier is my day one. When I started my channel almost
Mm,
3 years ago, Foot Soldier
okay.
was the first one there, and she's been with me all the way. And now
Okay,
we
that's what's
talk.
up.
We talk almost every day, unless she's tired of me and she don't want to talk to me. And she's a really good friend of mine. A really good friend of mine.
Okay. See, because honestly, I thought you were Foot Soldier. Because
Who me?
somebody was like, yeah, which one are you? What's your
I'm
screen
the
handle?
People's Lounge.
The People's Lounge. There
And
you
now
go.
I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna type in it so you can see. I got because a sub of mine, which is another friend. She's not a good friend, but
Yeah.
her nephew, the cops killed him
Yeah, I see the
in
hashtag.
Ohio. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say hey,
it's justice for
Kevin
okay, so yeah,
Peterson
Kevin.
Jr.
Yeah, so let me
in
just
Portland.
let's just like shed some light on that because me personally, I don't have Instagram. I'm not really watching the news these days or anything. So if you can just explain like a little bit of that before we really dive into this
That's why.
topic.
So, like at this point right now, I can what I can do is I can post her channel, and you can go ahead when you get a chance to check it out. Because I don't know who is that, Joey. I'm gonna mute you.
Yeah, that's the baby.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, you good, you good.
So I don't know the whole story. What I can say is that her nephew was in a parking lot of a bank.
Mm.
He was talking with his girlfriend on the phone, and whatever they were talking about, his state of mind, like he was walking back and forth, like he was nervous.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if somebody called in that he
Mm.
was in the parking lot and it looked like he had a weapon. I'm not sure exactly how it went, but the end result is that the cops shot and killed him and said that he had a gun. But it was something like 20,
Child.
20 something cops. Give me a second. Shut up. I'm online. Be quiet. Go get the tablet. It was something like 20 cops, I believe, 20 plus cops, and they said he had a his hands were out. Like she just said that from what she understands, he was just like he was walking around like he was nervous, so they felt he looked suspicious or whatever,
Why
and
even call the
they
police?
ended up killing
What
him.
like
Like
what
why
was he doing
that
that
warranted that?
was so mind-boggling to you that made you feel in danger? Because 911 is a tool for you to use when you're in danger, when
Right,
you've experienced, a murder or something involving a crime.
right.
Why did you call the police for somebody who was just simply walking back, pacing
And
back and forth?
the worst shit is
I
that the kid
can't.
was just 21. He just had a baby, and from what his family says, like I said, I don't know the whole story. I'm not saying he did anything. I'm not saying he didn't, but talking with KPR, and stuff, he's a good kid. He's a good kid, and the thing is that they if I'm not mistaken, they shot him a lot. Like, I'm gonna post the video.
Please do.
Um, I'm gonna
I
post
was
the
just gonna say,
video.
send it to me, post it,
I'm
so
actually
that I
gonna
could
post
see it.
it in
And
the
I'm
in the
actually
chat
glad
right
you mentioned that because another the reason why I didn't vote for Joe was because he's not for defunding the police.
He isn't, but I'm gonna. This is where I'm gonna, and I'm gonna. You know how I feel. Cops, I don't feel all cops are, but what he is for is suspending those.
Mm-mm. It's not enough. I'm sorry, it's too many bodies
It has
down
to. It
already.
has to. But
It's
listen, it
not
wasn't
enough.
okay. Now, it's it was a lot of it's a lot of bodies that wasn't on his watch. Okay, I'm not saying that makes it any better. Hold on, Chris. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying it makes it any better. What I am saying is, where he is not inciting the police to go out and do that, he does recognize that there is a problem and he does want to reform. It has to start somewhere. At least he's making an initiative. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, and I'm not saying that's okay with all the lives that have been lost. I'm not saying that, but I do believe that the cops right now need to be all trained all over again. Like it has to start, and to me, and him even talking about that makes a difference to where Trump was pushing for this stuff to happen. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a big difference, and knowing somebody, like I said, it's one thing when you hear about things on the news, right? But it's another thing when you know. Hi, Marcus. It's another thing when you know the person it happened to. And like I said, KPR, like we're not besties. We don't go have ice cream and stuff, but I do talk with her, and I feel really bad that shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that they need to reform. But honestly, if you defund the police, you might as well keep Trump as president, like because that's all you're gonna have. You're only gonna have mayhem because you have to retrain them. They all have to go through a retraining.
And
Like
until then, we can actually use our military for things that could actually benefit us. Bring their asses from overseas, bring them over here, let them know the guidelines, what it is that y'all are supposed to do and what it is that y'all not, and let them go. Let let the guy only until they've been retrained. The cops have been retrained. You feel what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm sorry, but that sounds like a compromise. And I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I'm so sick and tired of somebody dying at the hands of the police. We are past how much longer, right? How much longer are we gonna have to sit here and settle for, oh, this can
I,
happen, or oh, we can sit here and have this go on, but that other thing is too far of a stretch, when in actuality it can benefit us all. When they defund the police, we put that money back into our own communities.
when they defund the police, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a subject that I don't want to continue, because it's we already tried this once before. But if they defund the police, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here, because
I wouldn't mind it.
if they you and that's okay, because I'm not gonna live here, because if I don't have a policeman
You're gonna
to
have a police officer, you're just not gonna have that
oh,
many of them roaming around
that's
doing
not good
anything
enough
that
for
they could
me.
do.
That's not good
And
enough
we're
for me.
also gonna have people within the community stepping up to
That's
those
not better either,
plates.
because the
Stepping
people
up
in
to
the
those.
community aren't gonna step up and do anything.
I listen, at this point, Denise, I'm sorry, but at this point, I'm not even gonna lie. It's getting to a point to where, and me, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a brown woman. I'm not gonna sit up here and just be like, oh, because clearly I'm just not black. All right.
Hmm.
However,
Hmm.
even now, like I go into the store, I see police officers. I don't see them as the people who serve and protect me. I do not see them as that.
Hmm.
I literally see them as that at any moment they can pull a gun out and shoot me.
Hmm.
I've lost all faith in our in the police department. I don't think there's nothing you can really do at this point. There's too much blood on the hands. It's too much dirty history, because if we were gonna be honest, we got to sit here and talk about why the police was even created in the first place. And I think
If
we
you
all
want
know
to be
why that
honest though,
happened.
listen. If you want to be honest though, this is where the problem comes in, because there's honesty and then there's honesty. If you want to be honest, then you have to listen to all aspects. You can only be willing to accept the honesty that you want,
What
that you
honesty though?
call
I don't
honest.
I don't I don't
So
hear any honesty.
the thing is that, and this is like I said, and this is why I don't like. I'm gonna steer away from this subject. I'm gonna mute myself, because this is a subject where, you see, like I said, I don't talk from inside. I step outside. And now I am Polish, German, Dutch, Puerto Rican, and black. So I have all races in me. And I see it from all aspects. And I do believe that it's fucked up that cops feel it's okay to kill people. I believe that. But I do believe that not at all times were the people innocent. That's one. Two is, I do believe that the cops
Uh-uh.
need to be reformed. There are bad cops and there are good cops. I would not, me myself, would not let me or my kids live in a zone where there are no police. I just wouldn't. That would be crazy. Like right now, we can't even get a buckle on protesters. Pues imagínate if there was
Because
no
there's no, like when you say a buckle, it sounds as if you want to put a muse on the horse. Does that make sense?
when I
Like,
say what? When
no,
I say
the
what?
protests happen the way
Uh,
they're supposed to happen.
they
People
they
gathering in big groups, and they let
breaking
everybody
into
know.
stores, knocking down
No,
people,
babe,
hitting
that's
cars,
looting. That's looting.
burning. But
You
that's what
mentioned
they're doing,
protesting.
though.
No,
But
you
that is
mentioned
what they're doing.
protesting.
But that's what
And
I'm
the
saying.
looters, we can't
That's
bring
what
up the looters,
we're
Denise, because I think we all know where those looters came from.
Well,
those had nothing to do with the protesters. That
because
had
you don't
every
know
little thing.
one personally doesn't mean that they don't exist.
I've seen videos of white people dressed up way too suspiciously for a
Mhm,
protest,
mhm,
breaking down buildings, antagonizing the community
mhm.
so that this can happen.
And I could tell you something. That's your point. I accept that point, and now I'm going to tell you my point. I know a Puerto Rican, he's Spanish, but Puerto Rican / Dominican, and a black man, along with other people who went into a store and burnt it down after they robbed it. I know them personally. I could tell you their name.
Okay. Did they
So
get anything they need? Did they get what their mama needed? They needed like
that's not the way to do it.
that
That's
is the way to do it.
no.
No, that listen, there's a such
Okay,
thing
I'm
as
going on mute,
insurance.
my love. Go ahead, Joey. Take over. Because we're not, I can't. You know, Chris, I love you, baby.
Okay. But to finish my point,
Listen.
because I'm not just gonna stop. Like I was saying, I don't think that, them setting a building on fire is the end of the world. There's a such thing as insurance. So if it was a big company, or if it was a company that is making money and they got insurance, then so be it. I have nothing. I do what you gotta do, bro. Do what the fuck you gotta do.
And I get what you're coming from when defunding the police. I get it. The defunding the police to me feels like you're taking away some people's safety.
Yeah, those are
And
listen.
listen,
Okay, go ahead.
no,
I'm
no, but
sorry.
listen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because everybody, so many people ask me. I've been on the phone with a lot of people, friends wise, and they always ask me, why do I let my son say hi to the police? The baby. And my response is, it has to start somewhere.
Joey, no.
Listen,
Joey, no.
listen,
Joey, you don't think they did that same thing to us when we was in elementary school,
but
planting us with the idea that the
When
police
I was younger, there wasn't as much police brutality than there is today.
That's not true either, Joey. Slavery stopped not too long ago.
Listen,
That's not true.
When I was growing up, we was able to sit in a neighborhood. I grew up in neighborhoods with multicultural people, all kinds of people. The South Side, that's an all kinds of people place. All races and everything. Everybody was treated the same. Nobody was treated differently. So when people say, listen, when you say defund the police, you're gonna take away a job from a police officer that sat there and tried to arrest his partner for beating up somebody who's sitting in the street. You're gonna take his job away.
Listen.
Or take the job away of a detective that arrests his partner for racially profiling somebody. You take his job away.
If we ain't have them, it wouldn't have even happened in the first place, Joey.
Yes, but what about the good cop? The one that stood up for everybody.
What about the good cop? Pick another career.
That's not fair to them. This is something
that is fair to them. Get into politics.
That's not fair. That's not fair to them.
Become a military person.
When you defund, it's not fair to them because they still have family to feed. They still have family to
But you're making it seem as if there's no other option. You're making it seem as if there's no other option other than.
But they don't want another option. This is what they want to do with their life. This is what they want to do with their life.
You want to shoot a gun, join the military.
And people do, and they still become cops. And I know a lot of good cops
become a military police officer. Do that.
I know.
We don't need you running. We don't need you thugs running these streets.
They're not all thugs. I don't agree with all of them. They're not all thugs. They're not all thugs.
Joey, listen.
They're not all thugs. They're not.
Joey, I get it.
I have my
people. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and just pretend like I don't know what you're saying to be true. I know that true enough, there are good cops. I get that. I understand that part. However, there's too much shit and too much blood being shed at the hands of police
instead
officers.
of defunding the police, like my best friend said, who was a cop. He said there's this community that is supposed to be policing the cops, not the IAB. I'm talking about a whole nother set of people outside of communities.
What, the CIA, the FBI,
No,
the Secret Services? Because guess what? They ain't been doing their job. Where the hell they at?
I forgot what he said. When he was a cop and they put complaints on him, he came up in front of these people, and they had to determine whether he did wrong or not. That's where I believe you should put in place for the police, not the police looking at police. Take people and let them decide if this. Okay, let them people decide whether those cops did right or did wrong. Like right now, I go back to the Breonna Taylor case. Listen, the Breonna Taylor case.
Family, I am here. What did I miss out on? Because y'all niggas haven't shut up. Go ahead, keep on talking. I'm sorry. I'll catch up.
The Breonna Taylor case. They deemed that a good shooting. Okay, yes, baby. He's showing you that he made a pumpkin. So everybody just acknowledge that he made a pumpkin.
Hey. We see a pumpkin.
It's okay. They deemed that shooting clear. But 2 grand jury people came out and turned around and said that they never even brought up the murder case, a murder charge.
The gag is, Joey, but the gag is, if police was defunded, that wouldn't have happened. Now would it? Now would it? Now would it have, Joey?
I believe it still would have. Because he fired. It still would have happened.
Joey,
because he fired first.
Listen, if we defunded the police a long time ago, do you honestly believe Breonna Taylor would have died?
It would have been, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Due to other reasons, or at the hands of
the cops still being
police?
Due to the cops being the way they are, yes. It would have happened. Regardless if you defund the police or not. Regardless. That would happen.
What you're saying is that regardless whether they're defunded or not, they're just bad people.
No, not all. Not all.
Okay.
But it showed that those cops were bad people, because there's no way in hell I'm walking around a house and that woman is bleeding out. But what happened? Like I said, there was a cop that arrested his partner for beating up somebody who's handcuffed, being rough with him. He loses his job because you defund the police because he doesn't have the right amount of years.
Well, at the end of the day, defunding the police is the only thing I want to hear out of a president's mouth. And because I didn't hear it from Joe Biden, he did not get my vote.
You want him to defund the police?
Yes.
You want him to? What do you think defunding the police is going to do?
Boo boo, we just got it.
What do you think? Because everybody's saying defund the police. Do you know what that? Do you know what that means?
I do.
Do you really know what that means? Like what?
Do.
Like
when you power. Listen, what it means is the law would then be deferred to groups of individuals within the community who's qualified for certain situations to go in and handle that situation the right way, instead of shoot first and ask questions later when the body is already leaking out.
So you rather someone who isn't a cop to deal with a situation? Like,
rather somebody
you got to really think about what it is that you're.
Who isn't influenced. I'd rather somebody who's not a cop and is influenced. I'd rather somebody who you have to pass a certain test. I don't know what test the government wants to throw out there, but you have to pass a certain test. There will be courses that are more than 6 weeks. 6 weeks. To own a gun, to be able to shoot somebody and it only takes 6 weeks.
I mean that's to own a gun
I'm
and all that,
sorry,
but I mean
but I'm sorry.
the
It's
fun.
just
I don't think the fun of the police is going to do anything to it. I
I
think the
think
fun of
it'll
the
do a
police is
lot.
going.
I think it'll do a
It'd
lot,
be worse
especially for the
if
community.
if like what I had said before with the situation. If you want to see a change in it, what we got to realize is what we got to remember. We got to do our research is when back in the 40s and the 50s and all that, when they was doing the march and all that for the equality, doing the segregation and all that, and they actually gave us our equality. I put quote unquote equality, right? We got to pay
Hmm.
attention to what changed. Now, me personally, I think what will make a change is the police academy. Because if you think about it, all you did was now, all right, now black people could be cops, right? Now Spanish people could be cops, and now people who support black people could be cops, and all that white people could be cops and everything. But the system training on it is just a passed down system. It was a passed down system that went from a racist set of mind or segregation set of mind to on to the next generation. Half these niggas that are captains now were trained by people who were trained by people
Back in
who were
that
racist.
time, back in
You
that
understand?
time.
So all you doing when you defund them is take away the opportunity is taking away from police to be out here. What we got to do is that ain't going to change nothing unless we change the system. The same thing with schooling. When they fought for us to be, when they fought for black people and Spanish people to be in a school system, to have the equal rights to be in a school system with white people, all they did was say, okay, fine, you can come into our school systems. They never switched up what them school systems was changing. Then you got to think about it. At that time, an all white school system, what the hell was they teaching them? They was teaching them that they are the superior race, and black lives really don't matter. They ain't really get into the black history. Why you think we don't got? Why you think now we got a month, Black History Month? That's
The
because
gag
all they did
is
was put us.
the
We
gag
accepted a
is the
system.
Native
Yeah,
Americans ain't even got one.
we accepted. They put us into a system that we accepted, and instead of changing that system, we just ran with it. Now, if we're gonna make a big change like that, we gotta change the system. And changing the system by defunding the system isn't gonna change the system. Because the truth be told,
It does
that
because
I don't.
Boo Boo, what you're failing to realize is that the money that they're using. Have you heard these numbers? Have you heard about these numbers? Do you know
I
that
did hear
right
the
now
numbers.
in California get up to, I want to say, how much was it? Damn, I don't want to say it because
It
I don't
was
want to
like
be
80.
wrong.
If you're
It
talking
was
about the same numbers, it was like $80 million on settlements or some shit like that. $80 billion on settlements or
it
something
was
like that.
80 billion. It was, I
It
didn't
was
know if
80
it was
billion on
million, but it
settlements.
was billion. $80 billion. Do you know what that
Hmm.
can do for communities that are in California, such as fucking damn, I can't remember no
80,
damn
80
cities.
listen, 80 billion
$80
dollars can help out
billion.
with homelessness. It can help out with the school systems. It can help
All
out
and
with a
all
lot.
of
I
that.
agree with that. I agree
Okay,
with
so
that.
why are you not for change? Because the only way, listen, at the end of the day, the only way the government can change is when we change. When we start sending our kids off to better schools, we start living a little bit more better. Um, a little bit more money is coming back into the community. That's how we change. Because for us, at the
So
end of
and
the
what
day,
you
for us, hold on, for us, it's a little too late. It's a little too late for us to even experience that change. The change will come within the generations under us. You feel what I'm saying? So us wanting and
hmm
hoping and praying that we will one day see that change is not gonna happen until the police is defunded
all right.
and prices like $80 billion are going back into the community rather than $80 billion
So
in
what you're so what
settlements.
you're talking about, see what you're talking about is now I think maybe you may have gotten maybe the words mixed up. What you want to do is put a cap lock on the police because they don't have no
No, I
cap
want
lock.
to
They
defund
could
the
spend as much
police.
money as they want. If you defund the police, then you take away from the police. You understand? At the end of the day, we still need police. We still need police.
Listen, the only reason
Because
why crime, and I do feel this way, the only reason why crime is out there is because police, it's almost like a psychological thing. Like, we only react because of how things happen and what are in place. With that being said, police officers being here, walking around in the community, it's like, how should I say this? It's not it doesn't put your mind at ease a little bit. Like, it doesn't put your mind at
nowadays is a little bit scary, yeah. But before it wasn't scary. Like, I mean, I don't
listen, boo boo, you can only speak
nowadays
your own
is
experience, and that did not happen like that for everybody.
I can't speak from my own experience, and I can tell you, I went to school on 49th Street between 9th and 10th, and the same crimes that happen here in the Bronx, where I'm at, in the slums, happens over there. The only thing, this is where I say the academy, this is where you got to put a cap lock. This is where you got to change the academy system, the way they're training. First of all, let's be honest, half these fucking cops can't run. They don't have they don't have a thing where they have to sit there every year, every 6 months, pass a physical test or nothing like that. So these niggas, they do their shit, they become a cop, and then they eat donuts, they become mad fat. So of course these niggas ain't chasing nobody. Right? If exactly. So if you're gonna be right, defend, basically a servant of the community, to defend the community and all that, you need to be able to go through these certain trials that happen every year. The fire department has it every year. They sit there and they got to go up these escalators and shit with their equipment and all that. Same thing for the police. I think it's mandatory. Police have it once a week, every week, as long as they are a cop. They need to get trained hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand combat. It is mandatory.
So what goes back into the community?
And then this is where you put the cap lock on. Because when you sit there and you take away the cop, now the thing is, when a cop goes training, right, they go through the academy, they become a cop. Every time they go to train, the first thing they go to train, they jog on the beach because they think it's cool, and then they go to the gun range and they shoot. They train on their gun range. You understand? So naturally, as a person who always reaches for the gun to train in the gun range, I know how good I am with a shooter. When a situation happens, they go and they shoot. So now when you take away that your gun is your only priority, you put it that you give them a hand-to-hand combat thing. Where now I won't go up to a person who's in the military who's a hand-to-hand combat specialist. Why? He's gonna fuck me up. You understand? And he don't need to use a weapon. He could just straight fuck me up. Now, when you do that, when you install it in their mind that not only do you have a gun, you have your hands, you got other things, then you put a cap lock on how much money they need. Because then all that money is going to settlements and all that. You don't need all that money for settlements. The way you avoid settlements is if you avoid unnecessary injuries. The way you avoid unnecessary injuries is retraining these cops. You understand? It's all defunding ain't going to do nothing but have these cops
I feel like
be mad.
Go too far.
All it's going to do is going to have these cops lose their job, get mad, and then they're going to go enjoy the KKK, and they're going to train people who we don't know, and these people's going to be trained as cops. It's happened before. Cops training people and all that. Look at the militia. What do you think a militia is? Militia is ex-military people sitting there showing their community how to use guns and how to use calls and how to survive in the wilderness and all that. That's what a militia is. It's an ex-military dude showing basic people how to do shit. Last thing you want is these racist ass cops to sit there and lose their job and show people who hate us how to survive and how to kill. So keep them in there. Let them do their thing. You know what? You put a cap lock on them and you retrain the whole system. It's the same thing with the school system. The school system is fucked up the way it is because when black people and Spanish people and Asian people hop hopped in the school system, when we hopped in the school system, we hopped in the school system the way they wanted to teach. And the way they wanted to teach was only for white people. So at that time, they wanted to teach the white people that they were superior, and we don't need to know, they don't need to know black person's history, because that's not what matters. What matters is Christopher Columbus came and gave us this opportunity. What matters is all this extra shit, Napoleon and all that. That's all that matters. That's why we don't learn about who made peanut butter, who was the first black inventor, that there was a black president before. That's why we don't learn about that, because we took a school system and we accepted it. Now, us as a generation that we understand this and we know this and we got the technology and the knowledge for it, it is up to us to change the system. We have to change it, but changing it by taking away money from it ain't gonna do nothing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you really care, like me, I got kids. I care so dearly about my kids' education. It's for me to hit up the board of ed and demand this. Oh, y'all don't want this? I need a petition. All right, so I'm gonna go get a petition. Change the system. The system didn't change. All it did was allow us to be in it. We're still in their old system. Defunding the police ain't gonna do nothing.
So you don't think defunding the police? So changing the system happens in the police academy is how you feel, and not in the community first?
Did you know that
Yeah.
New York NYPD, the NYPD defunded itself?
I don't believe that.
Oh no! They passed the bill and they took money and they started defunding the police.
When?
What happened?
When?
It happened a few months ago. They passed the legislation. They started defunding the police.
What
happened
police?
was
New York State police?
New York City. Yes, but you know what the NYPD
I didn't
did?
hear anything about that.
You want to know what the NYPD did? I'm gonna tell you what the NYPD did. NYPD got rid of a lot of crossing guards. NYPD switching traffic to something else. In order for them to, they're gonna keep their money and their police any way they can. Any way they can. Google said put a cap limit. They took out of $2 million or $2 million something dollars that they have for a budget, they took $1 million away. So what do? They cut every place else. So and then the first thing they did was, and this is where everybody's real, the first thing that happens is that once people start getting arrested or a lot of crime starts happening, that's always happened, regardless if it's white, black, they blame it on defunding the police. So that's what they did. They blamed the crime that was happening. Look it up.
I haven't heard about this.
Because Laura works for NYPD. And they're moving her job to I think, Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough money. All the funding. All it does with the defunding the police department is it takes away how much their yearly salary is and all that. It doesn't put a cap on it. They still got money saved up. So they still got money for settlements and all that, unnecessary settlements. When you sit there and you take away the fact that you could freely spend money, if you take a billionaire and put him in and put him in our pockets where we have to micromanage our money, it changes the way they think. They sit there right now, they act the way they act, and they don't care about it because they like the paperwork says, they had 80 billion or $80 million worth of settlement money. And that's just for that. You understand? So they could do whatever they want to do. Look at Trump, look at what Trump's doing right now. You understand? That's all when you get freedom. When you take away that freedom, oh shit, I can't pay off everybody on a settlement because I'm a max out on my cap, and then I'm gonna be screwed. Then they start cracking down on niggas like, yo, you gotta stop doing this shit.
Hold on, wait. The People's Lounge, she said it best. The community has to change first. And the only way the community changes, like I said, is when we start putting back that money into the community so that we build better school systems, so that we build better community centers, better parks, better places to live. We do all of that based off of solely based off of defunding the police.
Nah, it's not gonna
And
be
like I said,
it's not
we
gonna be a
will not
defund.
But listen.
The
August 10th.
the fund won't help that.
August 10th.
I get what you're saying. I get what
2020.
you're trying to say, but
what you mean trying to say? I think I'm saying it. Like the money
August
that
no,
they're using.
Listen. August 10th, 2020. They shifted $1 billion away from the police.
What
and they-
police, Joey?
NYPD.
Okay.
Yes. And your homie was the one that pushed for it.
Who is my homie?
Miss Cortez.
AOC?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That
But
was a
it
start.
didn't. But it didn't change nothing. It didn't change nothing because what the NYPD did was cut out everything else that they don't need to keep their people in place.
They don't have a max. They don't have a cap. They don't have a
So that's
capitalized
all.
amount of money that they can spend. They can spend however much money they
That's
need, and they will say that it's for the community. That's why when you put a cap on it, when you put a knot on that, and you tell them, well, you can't spend this much money for anything that you want, they start cracking down.
But that's
Trust me,
based
the
off
richest
of
man in there is
that's
going to start
based
cracking
off
on the
of
poorest man.
That's
It's
based
not
on
personal.
police
It's not personal. It's
personally. That's them. That's you putting a cap on how much money you basically giving them a budget of how much money they can spend and how much they can't go over. Giving the police department a budget is not helping the community. That money that they are not.
Yes.
The money. How?
because
Money's never gonna
like
go
I
back.
said, they got a pot full of gold that refills every time. So they could reach in there and they could take out money all the time whenever they want to deal with everything that they want to deal with. When you sit there and you stop refilling that pot of gold, then they got to be more smart about how they use it. You understand? So when you put a cap lock on what the budget that they have and you drop down their budget, you understand? They sit there now, they can't afford to have Tim, the officer who might hate black people, hit a nigga with a car. They can't afford that because now they gotta deal with all that comes out of their salary, their yearly salary. They gotta deal with that. You understand? When you sit there and you defund them, all you're doing is taking away how much they get yearly. It doesn't limit them on how much they can use.
All right. So I think at this point, I think it's safe to say we just will not see eye to eye in this situation. I guess we can just agree to disagree.
I guess.
What you mean? You guess?
I
Because I
guess
feel like
because
it's gonna be a back and forth all night.
no, it shouldn't be. I just explained it to you. I just told you when you defund the police, all you do is you take away if they pull in $100,000 a day, right, and you defund them and they pull in $50,000 a day, they still got access to $80 billion. All you did was drop down how much they bring in. So defunding them isn't really going to hurt them that much. It'll hurt them, but not
a lot of
it will hurt them.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it would, but it still won't change what you want to change.
It'll change a lot. What
the police
Probably
commissioners
not globally, but
what the police commissioners would do,
it'll definitely change.
Okay, but what the police commissioners would do, if you sit there and you take money out their budget and start defunding them, they start cutting things out so that they could keep their fund. That's all they do.
Does it say how many police officers were fired around that 1 billion? That shift of 1 billion?
What? Okay,
Joey?
No, it doesn't say how many things, but they said they saved $163 million from not hiring a academy class. But they didn't put that back into the community because you don't see it back into the community. So the more you try to defund it, that money, they're not going to put back into the community. They're gonna
Okay,
find a
so
way
how
to keep
about this?
themselves.
I will then after hearing that, then my next question will be, where is this money going to?
And that's the point. If you sitting there defunding the police, and if they defunded the police and they was putting the money back in the community, okay. Even if I don't agree with it, I can
But
accept
Joey,
it.
do you really know that for a fact that the money wasn't put back into the community? Because when you think about it, NYC is a big ass state. Like, I don't know about you, but I see construction going on in my area a lot. Like, I'm not even lying. The streets are being redone out here. Fucking they're redoing traffic lights. Like, I do see little things happening. I don't think I could just sit up here and say that the money just doesn't go into the community, because I do see little changes happening out here where I'm at in the Bronx.
Every community has a certain budget they get money from, certain things that they get done. Like if a school has what happened? If a school had a certain amount of passing grades or people passing, they get a certain amount of funding. So if $1 billion is taken away from the police, and it's going, that $1 billion went into all schools of New York City. $1 billion. Every school in New York City, on top of the budget they have already. Would the schools be able to do better teachers, be able to fund things better?
I mean, they got to be doing something right. It's teachers out there dealing with coronavirus and actually going into school systems and stuff. I wouldn't put it past them that they did get a raise.
Oh, the teachers got a raise.
So what are we talking about then?
But the teachers got a raise.
Because putting money back into the teachers are also helping the community. Like, teachers are one of the most lowest paid people with a degree.
But a lot of these teachers that got raises, they got that before they started defunding the police.
Do you know that for sure?
For sure, yes.
Okay.
This is over the summer. They fought this over the summer. Before anything happened, they fought this over the summer. They don't want to go back to school. The ones that are in school and sitting there dealing with kids that have colds or kids that have flu or parents and staff that have all this stuff, I give them their respect. They're in there. They're in there. You're teaching them kids. But not every kid has a laptop. Not every kid has an iPad. Not every kid has access to these things, especially I'm in the shelter system. I gotta pay for my internet. When I asked for them to do full remote for the baby, and can they send me an iPad with the little hotspot, you know what they told me? No.
Why?
They didn't give me a reason. They just said no. I can't get it.
You didn't ask why, Joey? Damn.
I did ask why. And they said just no. Yeah.
All right. Well, granted, I don't know where this money is going. All I know is if you ain't saying nothing about defunding the police, the things that I do believe in, I'm sorry, but you're not getting my vote. However, on a lighter note, boo-boo, how you feel about this election? I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked Joey and Denise.
Trump is funny as shit, man. This nigga went on stage and called a bitch fit. They said they're cheating. Why are they cheating? Fucking stupid motherfucker, yo.
Oh shit.
Let me tell you something.
No, but he really said that on stage.
He said, yo, he started off the conference with, if we're gonna count legal votes, I won. But if we're gonna count all the illegal votes, I guess they take it away from me, I guess. Yo,
stupid.
That man's a clown. Man's a clown. But
so my next question is, like, do you think if Biden was to come into office, do you think he'll be able to hold his position? Like, do you think Biden will be that guy? If we need to go to war, he's not gonna want to see him bake cookies and prance around the battlefield throwing flower lilies and stuff. Like,
I think Biden is gonna do the job a little bit better than Trump. Like I said, I don't fuck Biden and Camilla and all of them. I don't agree with neither all of them.
So I'm not the only family member who didn't vote, is what you're saying.
No, I didn't vote either.
High five.
And the reason why I didn't vote though is because your vote really don't count.
Mm.
But that's another story,
That your
you know.
mom said the
But
same thing. Well,
your
when the
vote really
question was
don't count.
asked, yeah, she said the same
It
thing. Your vote doesn't count.
I really voted for
yeah
like my assemblymen and Congress,
I
and
agree with that part of it. What you mean,
yeah
boo boo?
that's what I went to vote for. You know, the
for the congressman.
assemblyman, you know, your assemblymen, and all those people that vote
Yeah.
for, because you need change, regardless of
Hmm.
anything. You need change.
Mm-hmm.
I wish
Yeah.
ALC would have went for the Senate and not the freaking
Listen,
House of
I wish
Representatives.
AOC would have went too, but
The Senate, not the freaking
It's all right.
House of
She
Representatives.
know what she doing.
she know what she
Yeah,
doing, baby. I
She
want
know
to
what
but
she
look
see
what
doing.
happened.
fucking.
Remember how many women were voted in that the midterm elections?
Oh, talking about this
No,
election or
no,
midterm?
the midterm election. All the women that were voted in into Congress. You know,
Yeah,
they broke that record
Mm,
this year.
yeah.
They broke the record.
It was.
They broke
And
that
I
record.
also, speaking
that's
of
what's up.
records, I do want to shout out three. They are three people holding down high positions in Congress. I can't remember their names, but they are a part of the LGBT community. One woman, she identifies as non-binary, and she's also Muslim and a black woman. So love to see it. We also have a black gay man in office for something too, and a white gay man, openly gay man for something too. So I love to see the representation. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there since we are on the topic, you know, of
But
breaking
that's
records
Yo,
and
good.
stuff.
The more
Yeah.
yo, if
change,
you would have said that in the 40s, they'd have hung you. They'd have called
Oh,
you a
hung
witch.
you. Oh, hung you. A witch.
It's a
A witch.
witch.
Yo, a witch straight from Salem. Bloodline straight from
Yo,
Salem. Yo.
but
So,
this debate though, this debate is. Uh,
yeah,
I think
but
okay,
Biden
so
gonna
let me
take it.
ask y'all this. And let me ask y'all this. Were y'all anxious? Like, were y'all like, waking up late in the night, checking your phones to see, who won? Or
Hmm.
that's if you wasn't already watching. Because I know I was at work while elections were going on and like the counting
I
and stuff
wasn't.
were going on. And I was
I was
listening to like live streams. I'm
once
sorry,
I
go ahead, Joey.
saw once I saw that Biden took a real good lead in electoral votes, I said
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trump is going to fight everything. He's going
Hmm.
to fight everything. So I knew this was going to drag. He says that these are illegal votes. They're not illegal votes because there's a lot of people that mailed in their votes this year. Some of them are people that do this every 4 years. They mail in their votes. They don't go to the polls.
Bro,
They
I
mail in their votes.
got a new news. Hold on.
What?
What?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Uh-oh.
He got let me tell you, hold on.
Who is he first? Who is he?
Biden.
He is Biden.
Biden.
Okay.
He is 0.1% from taking over Georgia. Okay.
He's taking Georgia.
He now
He's taking
has
Georgia.
he's now below Trump by 2,000 votes at the 99% line. So that means one more
So he's down
percent.
by 2,000.
We gonna know. No, he's down by about 1,000, right? Right, babe? Yeah, about 2,000.
So
It's
he's
probably
down
like
by 2,000.
like
Yeah,
40 more.
cause a little bit under 2,000, a little bit under 3,000. Well, whatever. But about 2,000. But it's
Okay.
99%. That means they're 99% done with their counting. If
Well, I mean, that's
takes
still a
Georgia,
stretch.
it is.
But
But
what
if he
people, yeah,
Georgia,
It's still a stretch.
I will put
two,
him at
2000 ain't shit.
269.
Hmm.
2,679 is what he's behind.
Okay.
And that number ain't shit. 2000
That
ain't
number
shit. And
that
what you got
number
to realize
was
is that Biden, they have 500,000 mail-in ballots that haven't been counted. Trump
who?
told all his people, um, not Biden, but they had 500,000 on the vote ballots that they still haven't counted.
For
Five
what
hundred
state?
thousand.
For what state?
I don't know if it's for all, if that's all the states, like if it's all the mailing things put together or not. That was just the number I heard, 500,000. I don't remember if it was for a specific state or if that's all the total that what they got.
But
But
they,
what
yeah.
what Trump is scared of is because Trump told all his people don't do the voting because they throw them in the river and it's all fraudulent, it's all fake and all that, right? Now, if you got 500,000 mail-in votes, that means about 400,000 of the voting right there is for Biden. Is for Biden. And that's what Trump is scared of because Biden told people do the mail in votes. Only go in the polls if you have to. We still dealing with the coronavirus. Didn't. Trump didn't. So all of
I
Trump's votings
mean,
came in early.
we don't know that for sure. We just got to
We
throw that
don't
out
know.
there because
That's
it's
just a theory.
500,000 of just pure nobody knows who
But what I'm
Nobody
who
saying
knows.
they're
is,
They gotta
voting
open up
for.
the
You know what I
envelope.
mean?
yeah, but
Uh
Facts.
what I'm saying is, people
Uh,
have been mailing in votes for years for elections. That,
huh.
true, and you also got to take into consideration those white old Republicans who kind of can't go nowhere, and those white Republicans who are afraid of the coronavirus, and the ones
yeah,
who, regardless, at the end of the day, what he says, they still follow protocol and what they think
yes,
is to be safe. So
and that's true.
it's mixy. It's really mixy right
It's
now.
and that's
Really
true.
mixy.
But the problem is that I guarantee you, if everything was the opposite, and he had 253 and Joe Biden had 214, he would not be fighting none of these mail-in votes.
That's not true. That's not true either because he tried to put a stop on Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. He wanted to put a hold on the voting for Pennsylvania, and he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if he was winning, he wouldn't have cared so much. If Trump was winning, I don't think he would have cared so much.
true.
I don't think he would have cared. I don't think he would have cared so much.
So
Be-
I asked if y'all were like being anxious and stuff like that. Wow. I'm sorry, Joe. Were you still speaking?
No,
Because
but I wouldn't be
I heard you
anxious.
lag a little bit.
Oh no, I wouldn't be anxious at all. I wasn't anxious at all.
You say you wasn't anxious at all? No.
Once I seen Biden go up, I said to myself, "We're gonna have a long election."
Yeah.
Once Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania didn't get called early, I said we're gonna have a long election. Because the states that got called early for Trump was Florida, Ohio, and Texas. They usually the last.
Another new broadcast.
What
He
happened?
is 0.8% from taking on Pennsylvania with 94% on the bar. So right now it's 49.8% Trump, 49.0% Biden for Pennsylvania. With
Okay.
94, right, babe? 94? 94% on the bar. So 6 more percent, they're supposed to be final, but he's only 0.8% away from Pennsylvania. And if he takes Pennsylvania, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's an automatic win if he
Huh?
takes Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because
Because you
that's
said he's at
73.
250, right?
Right.
They got-
250 something, yeah.
253. He's at 253. So with the 20 points, that'll put him at 273.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, I was doing overnights when I was listening about the election and stuff, and I found it funny that Trump was kind of like, his first press conference, he went on and he was like, I won this election, and he was like, Texas, he was saying things like, the mayor of Texas. I can't do a Trump impression like Boo Boo can, but he was like, the mayor of Texas called me and said that we were up by 700,000 votes. I don't know why they haven't, announced it yet, but we officially won Texas. He was like, "This election is us, and we won." And I'm just like, "Yo, this dude right here
because
got to be the most confident, cockiest motherfucker I've ever known."
because they said if he won Texas and Florida and Ohio, he was going to win Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina, and he was going to be able to win the whole election.
Mm.
But what happened was he never figured Biden was going to win certain states. He didn't expect Biden to win New Mexico. He didn't expect Biden to win some of Maine.
I'm sorry, he didn't expect Biden to win New Mexico when this motherfucker sat here and built the whole damn wall to divide Mexico from down the United States of America.
That's why they didn't expect him to win
I'm
New
sure
Mexico.
he felt that was coming for him. That was a given.
He knew that Biden was not going to win California. He knew Biden wasn't going to win California, and Biden won California. See, he was mad at New York, New Jersey. And
that's what fucked him up.
He was mad at New York. New
that's
Jersey,
what fucked him up. Cali
really screwed.
Cali worth 55 points. Cali worth 55 points.
Yeah. He's also filing lawsuits for 2 states, and he's demanding a recount for, I believe, Michigan.
Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Wisconsin. Okay.
Michigan
but
dismissed his case.
Lawsuits for 2
no,
states.
Michigan already dismissed his case. So did Georgia. They dismissed their case.
Yeah.
They threw that shit out. They threw it out.
Yeah.
There was no fraud. There was no nothing. There was no fraud. There was no thing. So they said we're not gonna investigate nothing. They threw it out.
Sorry, guys. I hate to keep doing this.
He's doing too much.
Keep doing it, girl.
About the house. Remember when we were talking about the other things that are on the voting? All right. So right now, the House it's 218 for majority, 208 for Democrats, 192 for Republicans, and then there's a +5. If I'm not mistaken, that +5 is for the anonymous Republican
people. Yeah, the purple people.
So the Republicans need 17 more to claim the House. That's the House. So give me a second. I'm gonna see what. Oh wait, I went too far. Fuck me. I mean, sorry.
Ooh.
I want to say,
the Senate is the same thing. It's the 51 for majority, Democrats 48, Republicans 48. The Democrat is +1, who's an invisible person, and it says the Democrats need +4. And then you have the White House.
And I'm assuming those are coming from the states.
These numbers changed as well. I need to kind of not retract, but upgrade what I said. Update what I said. Before that we were losing, the Democrats were losing. But this was earlier that I had saw it. So I just looked at it now, and right now we're tied for the Senate. So right now we're tied for the Senate. We're still waiting on the House, and we're waiting for what's the other one?
Presidency.
Yeah, the presidency. So if we could win one of the, if we could at least get 2 blue, then we're not so bad off. Which is a good thing. Alrighty.
All right. Thank you, Denise, for them updates, child. Because I be so anxious to switch over to the click over and look and see for myself. But
ooh, you frozen.
His butt hurt right now.
Yeah, I know. Right now, I'm actually. Now I'm checking sign out on my phone right now. That's why my this shit got me frozen. But I'm here.
Frozen.
I hear
y'all. Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
But no.
That's the only reason. Maybe it may not count to people. They say, "Oh, it don't count." But when it comes to like the Senate, Congress, they don't go by electoral votes.
Well,
you gotta literally win by the popularity.
You can't have everything you want.
You're
hold on,
right. You
cause
can't have everything.
Like
these kids just
you can't have everything you want.
But
You win some, you lose some.
I'm gonna go back to what you said about Biden.
Mhm.
You don't know how he's gonna be as president. Even though his track record shows he did do nothing, not even at his Senate, because I went back to research a lot of his Senate stuff while I was talking, and
Mhm.
it's done a lot of things or bills he came up with that he said yay to or nay to.
That was back
But
when he was in the House,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
not when he
So
was president.
no. I'm saying you don't know if he's going to be a bad president. You don't know if he's gonna not
I'll give you that. I
fulfill
don't know. But I don't want to risk those
certain things.
chances. I don't want to risk them on Biden, and I damn sure don't want to risk them on Trump. So
I said it from the jump. I said it from the beginning.
mhm.
From when the election first started and all this. The people are afraid of change. And if somebody like Bernie Sanders would have been, it would have been a landslide. Like he would have swept the floor with Trump.
Bernie Sanders would have won already. There would not have been
That's what I said.
we're
That's what I'm
waiting
saying.
on something. It wouldn't have been that.
Yeah,
It would
but
not
that's
have
what
been
I'm saying.
that.
But he probably would have turned a lot of things around.
Hmm.
Your homie, AOC, or a lot of people that's like her, nobody wants those voices heard. I said it from the beginning.
Because she's young. She's
But
not
yeah.
she doesn't accept funding from big corporations. She's not easily persuaded or manipulated.
Stay right here.
So of course they're gonna be afraid of something like that.
Lay right here.
Of course they're going, and she's a Boricua. Like of course. Of fucking course. Child, they don't
But that's
Look,
want
now
them
there's two of
problems.
me.
They don't want them problems.
yeah, but and now that's what I'm saying. Like we would have had to wait for mail-in votes because Bernie Sanders would have sat there and wiped the floor with somebody.
I think it's
Who's
safe
that?
to say Laura is not joining this stream tonight.
She said she's gonna hop in when she can. I don't know if she's getting on board
Oh,
today.
that's right, because she is still okay. Never mind. But with that being said,
She's at work right now.
are you guys ready for? I don't know. Hell, somebody throw out some questions. I want to answer something. Damn, boo boo. It is to you.
Now it's one of him.
All right, I'm back.
Now it's one of him.
Oh.
There's only one of me.
I feel like next week is gonna just be something so different.
Sit down. Sit down. Yeah.
He's butt hurt
like
right now.
8:30.
That's why he's
Go.
having a tantrum.
Go.
LOL.
Go
First Soldier
Come
said,
here.
I didn't know cops eat donuts. Sorry. Oh. First Soldier was like,
Cops
I didn't know
always eat
cops
donuts.
eat donuts. Girl, you know they eat donuts. You know they eat Dolphins donuts and drink coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. That nasty coffee and them nasty donuts. Have y'all tried Krispy Kreme yet? Have y'all got it yet?
I can't stand Krispy Kreme.
Joey, we're not even finna get on that. Boo Boo, you had it.
But
it's a
I
conjunction.
do agree with y'all when it comes to Dunkin' Donuts.
Comes to what?
What?
That they horrible.
The what?
That Dunkin' Donuts is horrible.
Krispy Kreme is way better.
I like Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah, facts.
Way better.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. Yeah. It's in Staten Island. Donut place. I like them way better.
You had Krispy Kreme, right?
I've had Krispy Kreme. I don't-
The new ones that they just had. Because you know they got one in Times Square and on 125.
I stopped going to Dunkin' Donuts.
You
If I
said
don't
you
like something,
started or you
I
stopped?
stopped.
I gotta get these kids ready to go to bed.
Once I don't like something, I don't go to it. I don't think. I don't try. I don't care how many new locations you can have in the million in the world. I won't go in there. Like if you want a Krispy Kreme and I went and I bought you some Krispy Kremes, that's different. Or Boo Boo. Or like if I'm going to a household and I buy Krispy Kremes, I'll get a bunch of donuts. I won't.
Well,
That's
drop
just
off
my
a box over here. Drop a box off over here. A dozen glaze. But I want them when the red light on. Because they're not good they are still good. But I want
Nah,
them after
they
that
support
red light
Trump.
on.
We don't
tell
support them.
Jared this.
Talking
Can I
about
tell
Dunkin'.
Jared?
Hold on, wait now, boo boo. Hold on, wait now.
Krispy Kreme support Donald Trump. We don't support
Hold on,
Krispy
wait
Kreme.
now. Hold on, wait a minute. Who said that?
Look, I just hurt her feelings. Look, she hurt.
I am just a little bit.
Yo, feelings in her
Just a
drawer
little
went
bit.
boo.
Who said that?
All right,
Who said that?
give me a few seconds. Let me get these kids to go to bed real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. So Joey, let me ask you something. Did you watch while we wait for Boo Boo and Laura to hopefully hop on? Did you watch those seasons of Black Mirror, or you didn't get a chance to
I got up to the
them?
third episode. I was into the third episode, and then
Could you
the
refresh
election
my
stuff.
memory? Because I do remember watching these shows. I do remember watching
It was season 4, and the first one I saw was what was the? It was a space guy. Like, it was a game. Same thing with these little shits next to his head, and he got stuck in the game. They did the update. They went through the thing, and he got stuck in the game.
Yeah.
The other one was a crocodile.
That was a good
something.
one. Crocodile. Which one was Crocodile? It was Crocodile.
I gotta go back and see it. Yeah,
or
I gotta
a white
go back
crocodile or some shit. I don't know.
And there
But
was
do you remember
another
the third one?
I forgot the third one. I was because I didn't finish watching it because I was started watching.
You remember
the
what it was about?
I had to go into my phone because I watch it on my phone all the time.
Go ahead, go to your phone and just Google Google Black Mirror.
I got
or
Netflix on my phone. I just go right on there.
Go to Netflix. Yeah. What white crocodile? Because I think it's white crocodile, ain't it? Or is it just crocodile? Shoot it up. Krispy Kreme donuts are too sweet. Dunkin' Donuts for life. Foot Soldier, girl.
It was just crocodile. Oh, Archangel.
Girl.
Archangel. The Archangel one. Did you see that one? That's the other one I saw. Crocodile I didn't finish.
What was Red Angel about?
Archangel was about the mother would put a chip inside her daughter where she can see everything her daughter sees.
That was a key. That was a key. That one right there was a good one. When her mother was able to block out what murder was and what sex was, and that
I got up
was
to
a good
Crocodile,
one.
but I wasn't finished with Crocodile. There was something about an ancient scrambles in dark secret under wraps while insurance investigators. Something I gotta go through it again, but when the election started coming, I love politics, so I just forgot about
what it was about.
all this.
Look at a little bit of it and see if it'll jog your memory. Just watch a little bit and see if it'll. Cause like if I know what it's about, we could probably talk about it. Well, we ain't even got to worry about that one. We could just discuss the two that you remember.
And Thanksgiving.
I'm here.
We're not doing it on Thanksgiving. Laura said we should do it for that Friday, the podcast.
Friday?
The day after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So what we having Thanksgiving at? And yes, I did say we. Denise.
Denise is going upstate.
How will you come at us from the air?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's the
I think I
plan.
spelled it
You didn't
wrong.
answer this time.
Yeah,
Going to
you
the
did
Coast
put
House.
OJ. Krispy Kreme is spelled with K's, but you spelled it right. You know, you just it's K, not C, but we got what you was trying to say, girl.
But so just said Dunkin' Donuts for life.
Yeah, girl. Those donuts are way too thick, way too dry.
For
Dunkin'
life.
Donuts is definitely for dunking your donuts in your coffee. That's what it really
How
is.
can you?
But that's
You
not
can't
That's
eat
what
a
it's
Dunkin'
for.
Donut by itself. It's too thick and too dry.
To each his own. Because with me, certain donuts, I could,
Who has a wedding on Christmas?
With Krispy
I mean,
Kreme
I don't care.
donuts?
Yeah, Christmas.
I'm at Dunkin'.
Yeah,
So let me ask
there's
you,
a few
Boo,
donuts I could eat.
have you saw any of the episodes of Black Mirror season 4?
Yeah, I saw.
All of them, or just
No, I saw all of them.
what was Crocodile about? Oh, Crocodile was about the girl.
Yeah.
Angel was about the girl that you could see things. Crocodile was like somebody just having an insurance claim or something.
We was on season 4.
Oh, something about insurance and
The crocodile was with Shorty. That was the one that she was with the dude and they ran over the biker and all that. Right? Was it that one?
Nah, bro, you truck.
No.
trying to remember because I do remember one about
Yeah,
insurance.
Crocodile was the one with Shorty and the dude that they was sitting there, and they in the beginning they was driving, they ran over this dude on the bike, and then it goes to years later they find the biker's body in the river, and she goes up to the guy, they separated and all that, so she goes up to him and she tells no, the guy comes to her and he's like, we gotta come clean, and she's like, no, like our lives is set and whatever, and he didn't stop, so she ended up killing him. And when she killed him, they sat there, and that's when the nigga got hit by the Domino's pizza.
Yeah, and as the story continued, she would kill somebody, but somehow, some way, it was picked up on surveillance. So at the end, she ended up killing the baby, right? She ended up killing the baby, but the baby was blind. And the way that they found out she was the murderer was because of the fish.
Through the animals.
Yeah, it was the
I think it was fish, yeah.
Yeah, the goldfish. The goldfish were the ones that saw that she killed the baby. That one was good. That one was good.
Now, I ain't gonna front. Out of all of them, my favorite one out of all of them was the Black Museum one.
I was gonna say, I knew. Yeah.
You wanna know what's funny?
Yeah.
You wanna know what's funny? Because I was talking to Ashley the other day. I mean, we was talking about Black Mirror, and she said her favorite episodes of any Black Mirror that she saw was Black Museum. She said that was her favorite episode out of all the episodes she saw. And I'm like, what? So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch, because I didn't watch it because, like I said, the election came into my head. I started watching politics. I started forgetting about Black Mirror. I started trying to figure out, make sure, and it was like,
Black Museum was good. Black Museum.
But I heard that. But a lot of my friends that watch Black Mirror and my kids that watched it, that's their favorite episode.
Well, Black Museum?
Yeah.
That shit was fire. Like, I after shit started going on, I'm like, hold on. Like, yeah, I hear you.
So I don't know if Laura's ever going to come into here. She might just be watching, or she might just be real busy.
No, it's going to be a loss.
So with that being said, yeah, man, like this election is coming pretty damn close. It's coming very close. And Booba, remember when last week our Halloween episode? Remember when I was like, "Damn, by next Thursday at 7:00, you know, we would have found out who our president is." And this
You jinxed it.
Thursday, right? It's
She
Thursday,
jinxed it. Yes, she
9:03,
did.
and we still don't know. We still don't
Because
know.
he's because Trump is
Damn.
butthurt that he can say they're crying right now.
Yeah. I do
Okay.
think. I don't think it's over though. I
You
don't think it's
over?
Because at the end of the day, we
Mm.
still have him until January. When is it? 20th, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Martin Luther King, on Zion's birthday, and on Martin Luther King Day. Yep.
That's his
Mhm.
birthday.
Yeah, Zion's birthday is the 20th of January.
Same thing like Olga.
Oh, you guys are in for a treat.
What happened?
Let me show you something. Black Mirror season 5, right? That's the season we up to. You see that first movie, Striking
Oh,
Vipers?
Striking Vipers?
Bro.
Now, I am curious to see how that
Yo.
conversation goes.
Yo,
Yo,
that is
Striking what? Viper?
Striking Vipers, yes.
Striking Vipers. Joey, this
Yeah.
one's gonna have you twist. You're not gonna want to talk about it.
Yeah, he probably not.
You're not
He
gonna want to
probably
talk
not.
about it. This one's gonna have you twisted. You're gonna be like, why? Just why? Just
Why? Yup. Why? So with that being said, are we skipping the Black Mirror episode where you have to pick and choose the outcome? Did y'all know about that one?
Oh, I didn't
Y'all
know
didn't
about that one.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there's a Black Mirror movie, I want to say, or like a Black Mirror episode to where it's like there's a character and you kind of pick and choose what his next move would be, and you just
Yeah.
witness the outcome, and you actually pick and choose on your phone like the outcome, and you know.
I'm gonna check
I
that
ain't
out.
seen
I think
nothing
it's
like that.
I think it's called Black Mirror
Bandersnatch or something like that?
Bandersnatch. Yes, Bandersnatch. Yeah.
I'm going for it. Look, y'all see it?
Yeah.
Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
I'm as a matter of fact, I'm gonna watch
It's
it
a
now.
little yeah, it's a little it's one of those ones where it's like
Whatever. You know, I feel you.
I think it's funny though because like as you watch it, they try to be as realistic as possible. And when I say
Yeah.
that, I mean that meaning they use things that we would know rather than a character that we're watching. You know, so
Yeah.
Netflix, for example, they use Netflix in there, and you know, one episode. I ain't trying to
Oh,
give
shit
it
like
away,
that.
but
Good
yeah, like it's. Listen, just watch it. Just
All right,
watch it.
we're gonna try it out. I always, you know, I'm gonna enjoy leading a man
I got
to
a little
death.
confused by it.
Yeah.
I got a little confused by it. I didn't get the point. I didn't understand it. Like, what was the point of it? Y'all really had just that much time to do
Yeah,
that?
man, niggas is bored.
Facts.
What?
Well, with that being said, guys,
Yep.
it is running on 2 hours. It's 9:07. Y'all think we can keep going? Like, what do y'all want to do now?
Now
'Cause-
let's call it a night because everybody want to watch this debate. You know, see who's gonna be the one to
Yeah, I'm
destroy the
kinda
world
like-
this time.
yeah.
That's
All
true.
right, everybody. We got 3 messages. Krispy Kreme Donuts is like, yes, People's Lounge. Dunk your donut.
People going away this
Dunk your
weekend?
donut is gross. Who asked
That's
you?
mommy
Like,
and Beauty.
all right.
Right.
Well, with that being
Well,
said,
guys,
yeah.
It was fun talking with y'all. And whoever voted, I hope you voted the right person. And if you ain't vote, you smart.
Hey, that's how.
Hope everybody have a good night.
Yeah.
Hey.
Catch us next Thursday
And-
at 7:00.
And get ready for and be ready for the hell that's going to happen because either president that wins is going to be a reaction to it. Either one.
Exactly. Wait, we got 2 more messages. You did no. Oh, they going back
Cameron,
and
you
forth.
did. Yeah, they go back and forth.
All right,
Yeah.
Just
y'all.
told
Well,
them,
catch us
who
again
asked you,
this
lady?
week, 7 o'clock, and this time we will have an official answer as to who our president is.
No, we hope
Um,
we have an official answer. We
I
hope.
don't think it's going past Saturday. Like, I don't think it's going past Saturday.
Listen, this man is pushing it, so we
We're
don't
talking
know.
about lawsuits and appeals and all this stuff. We hope. That's
We
what
can
I
only
hope.
hope. We
Right.
can only
Yes.
hope. All right. Well, all right, y'all. Peace, love,
Next week,
and happiness.
see you
Next
guys
week.
later.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and chicken grease. Good night.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Good night.